Speaking of cake, I announced via cake Eddie and Ray were leaving. I wrote this note to myself. But now the listeners are guessing who is leaving the show since it looks like Eddie and Ray are locked in. And so here are the odds based on the amount of guesses on social media. The favorite is Morgan at 5-1.
That sounds weird to say favorite.
Like favorite
to leave?
If we were betting.
I get it. I know that's how betting works. It just sounds a little...
Yeah, the person that would have the most bets would be Morgan at 5-1.
Okay.
So you would bet you'd make the least amount of money because she'd be the favorite according to the bettors to leave the show.
Okay.
Why is that?
I don't know why people picked you more than anybody else.
Am I giving off leaving vibes?
I don't know. I didn't think about that. Why do you think it is, Mike?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't feel like I put out any leaving vibes.
I would think maybe it's that there's no vibe at all about you leaving or staying, and it just feels like out of nowhere it would happen, so they're going with the out of nowhere vote.
Got it. Okay. That makes me feel better.
What about like the potential of someone that could leave and be okay?
Well, I'll read you the odds. I don't know why people have selected them, but Scuba Steve's at 10-1. So second overall is Scuba Steve. And I think that's probably based on the fact that Scuba has been vocal about wanting to do more.
Right.
Not that he doesn't do a lot here, but he wants to do some front-facing stuff, be the guy.
Chase my dreams.
Chase his dreams.
Chasing my dreams, baby. That's all I want.
Chase his dreams. Let's go. Amy's third, 15-1. Lunchbox at 20-1. Kickoff Kevin at 25-1, which for him to have any odds at all, I'm surprised because he's not really on this show a whole lot. Abby at 50-1, Mike D at 75-1, and me at 100-1. So I'm the one least likely to leave. But Eddie, to your question, who can leave and be fine? Amy. Or
Sure.
if I left, it would just be Amy. She'd sit over here.
Oh, Amy would run the show?
Of course. Or I don't know what would happen. I don't know what would happen.
Mental health hour.
Pull that audio, please. Mental health. I talk about more than that.
No, he means off the air.
But if you went free range, though, Amy, I think we'd go straight mental health.
No. We'd have fun.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know
like
that that's the case, but if something were to happen in this room, I know whenever my contract was coming up a year and a half or so ago, I know who they were thinking about replacing me with, and it wasn't somebody in the room, but I think they were also just doing that to kind of be like, ooh, we're talking to somebody.
Whoa. So if they replaced you with, like, say, that this person, would we have to work for them?
No, you guys would not work for the show.
Okay.
Yeah. Amy would do like national middays or something, or nights or something like that. Rest of you guys, I don't know. Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah. But that would be the answer. I think Amy's the most prepared. Scuba obviously can executive produce anything, run a show, because that's on air, it's sales, but people don't really know what he does because most of it's off the air. But yeah, I think the answer is Amy.
I can also cut grass too. I'm a good
That's
landscaper.
True. That's true.
So I can always fall back on that.
I bet I'm better.
Fall back.
I bet you're not.
Sometimes I just want to do that instead of waking up this early. You sound like you get a little something.
Yes, man. I'm sure Lunchbox got me sick.
Here we go.
So wait. So that would mean I would be wrong that he didn't have coaches convention. So either he yelled too much at coaches convention, which he does every time he goes to Vegas, or he brought in another illness.
Yeah, which is it, Eddie? Because you also accused him of yelling at coaches.
Correct. I guess initially thought it was all coaches convention, him yelling, but now that I know that I'm starting to sound a little bit like him, I think he's just getting sick now.
Well, Morgan sits in between you two. Morgan, do you have anything at all?
I did not feel good yesterday.
I never felt bad. There was nothing bad. It just was a sinus infection.
No, like my head was like, when you feel like very
But you didn't go to the doctor. You're diagnosing yourself.
No, I did. I went to the doctor.
Okay.
Got a nasal spray and got a syrup.
Well, he's got a syrup, guys.
Well, okay.
He got a nasal spray and a syrup. That's
and
pretty...
prescription strength nasal spray. She said, have you been snoring the past couple nights? And I said, my wife said I had. And she goes, there's a lot of drainage down there.
Oh, so he's sick.
So gross.
That's what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the sinus
So the whole
infection
table
was.
over there is sick after Lunchbox is sick. If that's
exactly.
true, I was wrong about coaches convention. So I would.
Thank you.
He ended up bringing in a disease again and giving it to you guys.
Disease again.
Sinus infection is not contagious.
Then how do you explain all three of us at this table getting sick?
I don't know. You go other places. You go out in the world.
But this is the consistent place where I'm sitting every day, and now you were sick.
You were at the roller skating ring with a bunch of kids.
And Morgan's got it too. It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I will admit I might have been wrong about coaches convention because he might have been sick and brought it to you guys.
Thank you.
So
and Morgan is not sick.
This is a thing always.
I didn't feel. You don't know what I feel.
Yeah, that would be like her telling you what you feel.
But I was never sick. I never felt bad. There
Just
was
because it manifested away for you in your body doesn't mean it didn't do differently for me, even
And
though
you're
it
all
could be
better
the
in
same
12
virus.
hours?
I don't know. I don't feel great, but I don't feel horrible yet.
Anyway, thanks, Lunch.
Thanks, Lunchbox.
Hey, you're welcome, man. But I told you, wasn't.
Apparently, too, you're not supposed to cut another person's cake.
Well, I feel great. Just
You do?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of people leaving, there was a little drama with Morgan cutting people's cake, which I didn't have. She cut my cake. I don't have a problem with
Yeah,
that.
what?
Like, what happened?
So apparently, there's people on the internet who feel you're not supposed to cut somebody else's cake on any level. But I thought it'd be rude to make somebody cut their own cake
So why are you not supposed to cut someone's cake?
because it's theirs, I guess. Like it's their whoever it's for. Like say it was for Eddie and Ray, it was their decision to cut their cake. Apparently,
I've never seen that
I've
before.
never heard this before either.
I got literally some dude was like, "Why is she cutting the cake?" I'm like, "Well, first of all, neither one of them wanted to do it. Eddie can't do it.
Can't do it.
I saw Eddie out in the hall today struggling with his what is it?
Tumbler,
His
tumbler.
tumbler. One arm in it because he got a broken arm.
It's like one of those twisty tumble
So he was trying to like
tops.
have it down but screw it in.
It's tough.
I looked at him for a minute,
No, what I tell you though, I said,
laughed and walked off.
I said, let me be. I got to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
I can do it, man. I got to learn how to do it.
It's good for your brain, too, to use your non-dominant hand
Yeah.
to
yeah.
complete a task. So
If your arm's not broken, I think those are good skills. If like you have to get back in the studio in a timely basis and you're struggling knocking it over,
well, I was just trying to find the positive.
I can see. But I left him because he was like, "Let me do it, man."
No, I said, let me be.
was like,
leave
all
me.
All right, Timmy, I'll leave you be. A couple here. Someone threw out a 2,000-year-old statue in Greece. Police are investigating after an ancient statue was found in a trash bag near garbage cans in Greece. I feel like everybody's trash in Greece has like thousands of years of stuff in it because everything's so old there. But yeah, this thing is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The statue is 32 inches tall. It depicts someone wearing flowing garments. It's missing its head and arms. The man took the statue to authorities. Someone was detained but later released over the situation. But again, they found this very valuable statue in the trash. Now, that head and arms being missing, any guesses?
Isn't there like a famous statue that's already got that missing?
Yes, there are many. Why do you think that is?
Is it representing decapitation?
It is not representing decapitation.
Is it like
None,
when you
none of your guesses are gonna be stupid though.
Okay. So is it like when you see roadkill and like the horns are off?
No.
Okay.
No. So your guess was roadkill?
Yeah, like you can sell an arm or a head.
Lunchbox?
Oh, I mean, gosh, maybe it's a cult.
Oh, a cult
Interesting.
chops
Wow.
off all the heads.
Yeah,
Explain that.
I mean, that's their. I mean, that's if you want out of the cult, there's no in, there's no out.
So they were in the cult.
Yes, and they wanted out. They were going to reveal. So,
They chopped the statue's head off,
yep.
but not the human head.
Hey,
Now I'm just asking. I mean, these are
I'm
all,
just
It
trying
was
to come.
representative of how the
Yeah,
cult
like how the
behaved.
cult runs out. Like this is what happens if you try to leave.
No, but the statue had a head and arms, right?
Yes,
They
at
just
one
when
point.
they found it, they didn't have arms and head.
So I've walked through some of those museums in like Italy, France, and if the head is gone or the arms are gone, a lot of them, some of them just the tips of the nose are gone. So invading armies or like enemies of wherever you are would do that as a sign of disrespect. Cut the heads off the tips of noses
Oh dang.
or the arms. Some of the most famous statues in the world don't have a head. So it's mostly during war instead of demolishing the whole statue, which they could have done and eliminated the art, period. They would just chop the head off.
They say like the Sphinx, is that it in Egypt?
No, that has his head.
No, it's missing the nose, and they said
Oh, yeah.
Napoleon did that.
The pyramids, if you ever read into the pyramids, where they're built, exactly where they're built, how precise they are, it's more than just a bunch of humans carrying blocks forever. Like they are in specific places that line up with like the Earth's axis in such a advanced way.
You thinking aliens?
Yes, of course.
That's what he's thinking.
I don't
What he's
know
about
about
to
that.
say. That was. I thought your next sentence would be so. It's gotta be.
Or advanced civilization that was actually, or they were more advanced than we give them credit for.
And the Egyptians just took credit for it?
Sure. I don't know about sure,
Because like,
but
they
that
say
would,
the Egyptians
but that would be
made it,
Egyptians, but they would have been Egyptians who made it.
and they were advanced.
I think they were more advanced than we give them credit for. I think they had technologies that we don't understand they had. I mean, just because we have it doesn't mean we're the only ones that had it. There could have been whole parts of the earth that through natural disaster have been wiped out, and they had to kind of start over. But if you read about the pyramids, I could probably find you some information, like exactly where they're located. It is amazing how precise, like the tip are where it points up. Tip is where it points up. The blocks, how they're put together. The rocks are from like 1,000 miles away. They had to travel with those things through really difficult terrain. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned with the cardinal points of the compass. This thing's massive. The square base of the pyramid is only 3.4 arc minutes off true north, which is about 1 millimeter per meter.
But it's
So,
off.
Well, nothing is going to be perfect. But you're talking about a millimeter off. You can't even hold your
Yeah,
fingers.
a little bit.
So that massive being that on. Now, how does that happen? How do you even understand what true north is with the technology that supposedly existed then? What even is true north, right? You're talking about thousands of years ago.
Could they have gotten lucky?
That is the luckiest possible situation.
Pretty lucky.
To be exactly on, to build that pyramid that big, that base, and be a millimeter from true north, no, can't be luck. He's coughing over there.
I
You see him
heard that.
cough? You see him try to hide his cough?
Yeah.
Oh, so apparently for precise north-south alignment, they used the position of the stars.
Okay, great. And how are they going to do that thousands of years ago when the Earth rotates and moves, right? You have to understand the stars are moving as well if you're using the stars, because that's what's happening, right? The stars are never in the same place 2 nights in a row because we're moving. We're spinning and we're moving around. So they have to understand the movement of the stars, the movement of the Earth. And they knew that. How do you know that?
I don't know. It said they had a constant reference point for determining north.
Okay, to be
The
one
North Star.
to be 1 millimeter off.
Do
they're-
stars move? I didn't know that. I
no,
thought,
well, we move.
no, I know
so
that.
they move
but,
to us because we're spinning this way
Yeah.
and we're moving around at the same time.
yeah, but I thought, like, you know those apps, the constellation apps or whatever, and
You ever see a constellation in a different place?
yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Or you ever not see a constellation one night and then you see a constellation again
Sure,
a month later? That's because the
I do,
Earth-
but I think that's like cloudy days or whatever.
even then stars do move a little, but for the most part, we move in
So we're spinning.
in 2 ways. We're spinning and we are. What's the word? You can do it, class.
Flat.
No, we're not flat.
We're spinning and
Okay, we
That
got
was
Morgan's
Dude,
coughing over there
it's-
too.
it's
Oh,
over.
great.
It's
I told
over.
you.
I know.
It's
oh my
over.
Gosh.
I tried to tell you guys.
Earth
Okay.
does what around the sun?
Rotates.
Orbits.
Orbits.
Okay. Anyway, pyramids. They're no chance. That's just luck. Did you
Oh, I
guys-
don't think it's luck.
a millimeter off that massive? I think it's probably they were far more advanced than we think they were. And because we're thousands of years later, we assume we're just so much smarter than everybody, which I don't think was the case. Or aliens.
I just feel like they dominated the pyramids, right? They're like, yeah, we did the pyramids, and then they just stopped because like they didn't do the internet. Like, then they're like, shouldn't they have just kept going?
It says here they had a sophisticated understanding of astronomy.
Maybe that was their strength.
So yeah,
But even to have that's such a vague thing to just say. Okay, don't tell me more. You can't because we don't know enough about. They won't even let us. They won't even let us go on the pyramids really, like and investigate. Even the greatest Egyptologists. I watch all this stuff on TikTok from Egyptologists.
Egyptologist.
I only know that word from TikTok.
That's someone that studies Egypt.
Yeah, in the pyramids, and there's so much. Do you know that there are no bodies in the pyramids?
No, the mummies.
I don't believe. Look up if there are any dead bodies in those pyramids. I think it's far less than we thought. I often thought those were like cemeteries.
Yeah, tombs.
Yeah. Did you ever see the footage of when Geraldo found the King Tut's tomb? And it was so boring. Geraldo Rivera.
Rivera?
It was like a live thing in the 80s on television.
I don't
It
remember
says some pyramids have been robbed of the bodies, and then some burial chambers are now underwater.
that. Did you know King Tut was a child?
Yes.
and I think he had like a bad leg or something, but they could never, like, there's no image of him with a bad leg, but in history they've realized that he had a bad leg, but they could not do that in art because they wanted his legacy to make it look like he was strong.
Interesting.
Yeah.
While pyramids were primarily built as tombs for pharaohs, most of them have been looted. There aren't a lot of mummies really found inside. Some notable pharaoh mummies have been discovered, but those are the Old Kingdom period where the pyramid burial was most common. So I don't know what that means. I'm probably wrong in some way. But I thought they were just full of dead bodies. I thought the pyramids were just like cemeteries for a
Same.
lot of the famous people that lived in that time.
Yeah.
And you would just like go to a level and it was just like a bunch of tombs.
Whoa. King Tut apparently had a club foot, a cleft palate, bone disease, flat foot, and he
Like
died.
everybody just had that like the 1800s.
He died from complications from a broken leg and malaria.
Which was tough because being a hunter was such a big deal then. Like, if you were the king, like, you had to be the best hunter. You had to be a warrior, and he wasn't.
He's a kid though, right?
And he was young. I think he's like a teenager.
With a club foot and a cleft palate.
No wonder, I mean, his other nickname was Egypt's boy pharaoh. I'd go by King Tut too.
I don't know. Boy Pharaoh's pretty cool. Except it ends up being like Backstreet Boys where they're like 60 and still called the boys.
All right.
Aztec pyramids,
I've seen those.
different pyramids, South America,
Yep.
were positioned with careful alignment to astronomical events, often oriented to capture specific sunrises and sunsets on significant dates, and are placed in relation to prominent landmarks. And again, they have a really advanced system with astronomy as well. Like, you would think nothing would have been advanced then. Like, they don't have clean water. Yeah, they could figure out where a sun is and where to build a building.
I went to one of those pyramids, and inside there's still a stone tablet where they drew like artwork, and this one specific piece of art it looked just like an astronaut with like the bubble helmet and
Really?
a tube coming out of it was crazy, and that was from back then.
We have at our house, you know, the Nike statue from Italy. It's like the winged victory. They call it. It's missing the head. It's the most famous, probably headless statue. It's got big wings. It's a woman. It's got boobs.
Oh, cool.
I think we have a version
have
of
that?
it, but it doesn't have a head. It's a very famous. It has boobs. Yeah, I don't look at them, so who knows? You know? I think it's in Paris. I think it's in the Louvre in Paris, but it is a headless. Because Nike's a Greek goddess, but it's in Paris. I think that's where I'm confused. But this thing is probably, if you put it on the market, it'd be $100 million. It'd be $1 billion purchase.
How did you get yours?
It wasn't that. We bought it at a gift shop.
It's a replica.
Yeah, we literally, but it's probably, how tall is that? 3 feet?
Yeah.
Probably 3 feet
2.5.
tall. So we had to mail it because we couldn't fly it back home. But
Golly, guys, I don't know. It just seems like they were skilled astronomers. Even the Maya people. Like
Mayans.
Maya, I'm reading.
The Mayans.
I know that,
From Maya.
listen, I
Maya,
don't know
the
why
singer.
they're calling them the Maya people,
Rudolph.
but yes, the Mayan pyramids. It says they were skilled astronomers who meticulously observed the movements of the sun, moon, and planets. Using this knowledge, they aligned their pyramids and other structures with celestial events like solstices, equinoxes, all that stuff that we don't understand.
But that's so vague in what you're saying. They had all those are just
They said
words to be able to explain anything in detail of how they knew and understood.
they were meticulous about it.
That doesn't really say much about how.
Means they
I know what meticulous means, but I'm sure they were meticulous about a lot
they're
of
like,
stuff.
okay, guys,
It's
you
more a
gotta line
greater
it up.
understanding that I think baffles people.
Well, it all baffles me how we're here today. So, you
The
know.
Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned almost perfectly with cardinal north, an error of 0.067 degrees. They think if they rebuilt it today, they could not get it as precise as it was then. If they
Wow.
were
That's
to do,
crazy.
if they were to do it again.
But what else were they doing?
Each limestone block used to build hunting, eating.
Trying to survive.
Survive.
Yeah, but like at nighttime, they're just probably like, let's just look at the stars for 5 hours. Us, we're like, dude, we got to watch this show.
At nighttime, I think it's sun goes down, eyeballs go to sleep to wake up to have the energy to hunt.
Oh, probably. That's probably more
Serve.
realistic. I'm thinking like you got all the time in the world to look at the sky and study it.
Each limestone block used to build the Great Pyramid weighs between 2.5 to 15 tons, each single block.
And some of them were from 1,000 miles away.
Yet it's still unclear how they transported and lifted these massive stones.
Slaves.
God.
The Great Pyramid is the only surviving wonder of the original 7 wonders, standing at over 4,500 years. Originally, they were covered in white. They were white limestone.
Oh wow! And what are they now? Just like brown sand?
Yes. Through time and there was some disaster too, and they peeled a lot of it off at some point. But they were polished white limestone, which reflected sunlight and made it shine like a giant mirror.
Wow, that's cool.
That'd have been pretty cool.
That's like kind of like the one in Vegas.
Okay.
The topmost piece of the Great Pyramid is missing. They don't know what happened to it. So you're talking about something massive that weighed tons, gone. The biggest heist ever. They do not, and they do think that it was gold, but they don't know how they got
Really?
that. You know, let's say it's 5 tons. Each ton's 2,000 pounds. That 10,000 pound piece of gold off of it and then out of there. They don't even know where it is. And how do you take that to the pawn shop?
Yeah,
Hey, Chuck,
that's what I got in the back of the wagon.
how much will you give me for this?
Okay, I just Googled asking for the best documentary to learn about this stuff, and apparently there's something called Decoding the Great Pyramid.
I think I've seen it.
On PBS?
I don't know. It's on Hulu now. I think the one I saw.
So okay, so now I'm curious. I want to watch it because I just feel like I need to have a better understanding.
Inside the Great Pyramid, the temperature stays consistently 68 degrees Fahrenheit, regardless of the desert heat outside.
That's crazy.
They understood how to create an environment to hold a temperature and keep the temperature, even with no technology.
They were the first air conditioning people.
Dude, they crushed the HVAC.
Man, like they knew exactly what was up.
They say 68 is right where you should keep it.
I messed up the other night because we like our air cold, and it's been so cold at the house. And so we'll keep it at like 64, 63.
Oh my.
But I did
So
cool
cold.
64, which means if it gets warmer than that, it cools to 64. But it's been like 9 degrees outside. I didn't do heat 64, which I should do in the winter.
Yeah.
I did cool 64. So if it gets below 64, it's not going to heat it up. So I was freezing. I woke up, it was 49 degrees.
Woo!
It wasn't even because the air was blowing.
But it's not going to trigger the air because
no,
you
because
set it
it's
on cool.
it's on cool, not hot.
Yeah.
So it's not going to start heating for any reason. But I looked at the temperature, and that's what it said.
I got a note from the electric company saying that 68 heat was what I needed to do.
Yeah, I should have put it on 64 heat, meaning if it gets below that, it heats it to 64
Yeah.
and then stops. But instead, it was on cool, and there was no reason to heat because heat wasn't even in the conversation. The pyramids at Giza are aligned with the stars of Orion's belt, possibly reflecting the Egyptians' deep interest in astronomy and the afterlife. The hidden chambers. Modern technology like cosmic ray scanning has revealed previously unknown voids and chambers within the Great Pyramid, which they still do not understand where all the chambers are, why they were all built, or how they were built at times, like how people would get to them, because there is no way to get to them. Contrary to popular belief, the pyramids were not built by slaves.
Oh.
The Great Pyramid was the tallest man-made structure. While the pyramids are often thought of as tombs, no mummies have been found in the Great Pyramid, leading to theories that may have a different purpose. So pyramids are crazy. I don't feel like Egypt would be a fun trip.
Like to get there?
Be a long trip, be very dehydrated when I got there.
The desert.
And then it just looks like there's chaos there all the time. It looks chaotic now, where I wouldn't feel safe. But then everybody that's not in America sees how much gun violence we have, and they feel that way about us. Because in other countries, this doesn't happen. Other developed countries, where everybody here is walking around with a gun. That's crazy to people. Pyramids, that's fun. I would like to go to. I'd like to see that because it's like a city there, like it's sitting right on the edge of the city, are the massive pyramids.
I know every picture you look at, it makes it look like it's in the middle of nowhere. But if you turn the camera around,
Yeah.
the city's right there.
There are some things too. Until like maybe the 70s, people could climb it and eat on top of them.
Yeah.
Like you could just go and hang out, look at the pyramids as a tourist, and climb to the top and have a meal up there. Which is crazy because I imagine people will be getting hurt falling down them. TikTok, I'm glad it's back. Because I learned a lot from it. You just have to understand that not everything said is true. It's kind of like in life, look at your source. I learned something politically the other day that maybe it was Jimmy Carter. It was around that time that there weren't elections within parties. Each of the parties just selected their candidate, and those two ran, and then America voted.
Oh, wow.
Where now we have primaries. Like anybody can go, I want to run. You have a whole Republican primary, may have 12 people, and then it's slowly, you go to Iowa, you go to New Hampshire. We didn't have that. those two parties just selected somebody, and America voted between the two, which to me, I wasn't alive then, so not super familiar of watching the Iowa primary in 68, but they didn't have that. And that was a little mind-blowing to me. In a bit, there are theories that a true democracy, whenever anybody could be president, it became troublesome because where in a well, we'll say a republic, a true democracy, we don't have a true democracy because we're not voting on every issue. We vote on people and then they make decisions for us. So that's more of a republic than a democracy. We have very democratic ways of electing people and even voting for issues, but we don't pick everything. The people we pick the things.
They do say to the republic which it stands, right?
Yeah. And they said that when anybody can start running for office is kind of the downfall of a republic or democracy, because in the day, even though it felt a little shady where you have these organizations picking their person, they would kind of pick somebody that had acquired enough skills that if they were then the president, they had an understanding of what the rules were. They knew bureaucracy. They knew government. But now, like, I literally can run for president, and if I just caught a good wind, next thing you know, oh my God, I'm president. Anybody could be it. Jimmy Carter might have been the first president after they decided they weren't just picking from the parties anymore.
And who was before that? Ford?
I believe so. So I thought that was fun.
Dude, you need to be a professor.
I don't, because I don't.
But like the way you talk sounds like a cool lecture that people want to just sit in.
But I only find that interesting. I'm not interested in everything.
There's got to be a class of like
it'd be
everything.
Like, here's the history of pyramids that I kind of know, which I really don't. Here's what I learned on TikTok about the presidency, and here is a crash course in all the actors from Cheers.
I don't know, man. You seem like you'd be a good professor.
I was watching that show on Netflix with Ted Danson. You guys watch that?
Not yet.
Inside Man?
Yeah, I watched it.
I feel like they were trying to chase Only Murders in the Building a bit. It's fun, it's soft, easy watch, 30 minutes. Old actor that people like, and Ted Danson. Same over at Only Murders because it's Martin Short and Steve Martin. Yeah. And it's fine. I think it's good for what it is. He goes undercover in an old folks home because he's trying to find out who stole something.
An old person?
I don't want to spoil anything. It's fine. I think it's a good family watch. Morgan, what'd you think?
Yeah, I feel like it's an easy watch. It kind of felt like a older version of The Office. It kind of had that kind of dry sense of humor a lot and kind of funny moments. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would by the end of it.
I enjoyed it less than I thought I would by the end of it.
Interesting.
I still liked it, but I think I was pretty bullish going in that I was gonna like it and we were gonna just have something like a throwaway 30 minutes to watch. We're in the middle of watching Night Agent. Guys, it's corny.
No! Wait, are you talking about, did you start season 1 or are you on season 2?
Season 1.
Okay. I didn't know.
I still like it. It's written so corny. There's enough action to keep me in, but I can predict what's going to happen like 8 out of 10 times.
Well, season 2 just loaded up, I think, yesterday. So that's what I'm going to be watching this weekend.
I'm not officially going to review it because we're not done. We're 6 of 10 episodes through.
Yep.
But it's written kind of corny. It doesn't mean I don't like it. But we've watched a lot of CIA shows and FBI shows, and some of them are so real feeling that this
right, like maybe because you just went from Lioness to
the agency is awesome.
Okay,
and its final episode is it's tonight of the season,
and that one's on Paramount, right?
Yeah.
Okay. God, I got to keep them all straight.
The agency's awesome. Like I think Faster Horses is the best, mostly too because they're all in like 6 episode seasons. I think there are 3 or 4 seasons, and they kind of have the point, get to the point. Here's the conclusion. Next season's ready to go. I think that's probably the best of all the new shows that we've watched that are FBI, CIA type shows. The Agency, we're not finished. One more, but it's awesome. You have to pay attention, though, in those type of shows where if you like are on your phone for 5 minutes, you're like, wait, what just happened?
Amy's out.
Yeah.
Or 3 watches.
No, I mean, I watch it, but I just may not know everything that happens.
Yeah.
I just realized with Night Agent, because it came back last night, and my son likes that show too, so we were trying to figure out when we were going to start season 2, and I realized I didn't watch the final episode, season 10. So I was like, oh,
Episode 10?
sorry, episode 10
Got it.
of the first season. And I was like, oh, I never finished this.
Where the spoiler was for me, because again, we're only halfway through, is the picture for season 2 shows the girl.
Oh, okay.
And you guys don't say anything, but it shows the girl, so that means she never dies.
Oh yeah, good catch, right?
Like as soon as I went up, I don't know enough about it.
I don't
but
know what you're
see-
talking about, but that's not good.
I see the front picture of season 2 back, and I'm like, oh, cool, we're going to start the show. And we start watching it, and then that girl is a character in the show, and you're like, well, there's no chance she dies because they just showed her on the picture of season 2.
Unless they're just showing.
Oh, unless it's just her
picture.
memory.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be that a
It
dream.
could be her memory,
A dream or
yes.
a memory.
So, yeah.
That's good. All right.
Final episode. Oh, so what we did watch though with my kids, we watched Baywatch instead. That movie with The Rock and Zac Efron.
Yeah, how's that?
Not corny at all.
It was so corny, but we laughed out loud a lot. However, I didn't realize they were going to show like an actual penis.
They do.
And I watched it with my kids.
The
It's
Rocks?
on a cadaver to be.
Oh.
I mean, they're in a morgue and there's a dead body, but Zac Efron most definitely picks up the penis and has to inspect under there. And I'm thinking,
It's science, Amy.
I know, but I'm here with my kids. And I just was like, well, kids, there's a penis.
Chopping wood significantly boosts testosterone levels.
cool.
Speaking of penises.
Yes. What do y'all think?
Chopping wood.
Y'all want to go chop some wood?
Anything with your large muscles as a man, like your butt, your quads, anytime
Back.
you're working those, those are very testosterone building muscles. That's why if you want to have a natural testosterone lift, they say do the heavy, the deadlifts, the squats, that type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, if we chopped wood on camera, I think Ray would probably look the most natural.
He's a lumberjack.
Yeah, he's also thicker.
Like Ray worked in a mill, like chopping wood. So I mean,
I
he's
don't know
got.
that he
I
chopped
don't
wood in
think
the
he was
mill,
like,
dude. I don't think
having
mills
a-
are.
I don't think he had an axe in the
Arkansas
middle.
Keith worked in the mill, but it wasn't chopping wood. He drove
okay.
a forklift.
Yeah.
Ray, what'd you do at the mill?
We just pushed around piles of sawdust.
And chop much wood?
No, we chop no wood. The machines do all that,
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
I think Ray would be, and he's also lower to the ground.
which isn't an advantage. You want to be actually higher.
Well, no, not for you though, because you don't have to lift it as high. I'd say you'll look good. I think Ray would look the best.
well, if that's the case, he could make a lot of money because women want to watch men chop wood.
But women don't want a short man, so it's weird.
Well,
Do you
it's
see short
video.
people? Short people live longer though.
Film from
Really?
down
Which
low.
makes sense because somebody that's 7 feet tall dies at like 28.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like guys that are 5'8" and below live 3+ more
Yeah.
years than guys who are taller.
And it's like bigger dogs die sooner than chihuahuas.
Yeah, it sucks for me being so tall.
I know. Me too.
Well, good thing for
my
you.
feet-
Some
my
of
feet
it's a
being so
little
big.
bit fudged.
I got a physical yesterday. Speaking of fudged, I know this sucks.
What?
I got a physical yesterday, and I took some pictures of some of my stuff, and it was like I left here and had to do a full. It took me 3 hours
To do the full
to
physical?
do the full physical, from blood to body fat to EKG. Like my resting heart rate was like 50, and he was like, "Dude, that's awesome."
Oh,
oh, that's good.
good for you.
He was because your body's not in an aerobic state. It knows it can just chill. It was like 50,
Wow.
and I should have brought the pages in, but my
That's a legit physical though. Like it's not like school.
metabolic age, I have it here on my picture that I took.
Why didn't we start with this? This is way more interesting.
Then pyramids? I don't
Yeah,
think so.
because I
Why
know
did pyramids even come up?
who knows?
know.
Yeah, who cares?
But
Okay, let's do a mid-roll real quick. Hold on,
Okay.
we'll play this. Okay, back. My metabolic age is the age of the inside of my body based on things, how he's explained to me, like I'm 5, like how my body just works.
yeah, you have your biological age or your chronological age, right? That's
Yeah,
what
like
you're
your
born
age.
with, which is, or do you want to say?
I don't care. I'm 44. I
Okay.
have no issue with
I know,
age.
but we need to compare. So you're 44.
Yeah.
And then what is your metabolic or
Metabolic age is a measurement that compares your basal metabolic rate, the number of how your body burns calories at rest, your organs. It's an indicator of how young or old you really are as relative to your actual age. If your metabolic age is lower than your actual age, it suggests you have a more efficient metabolism and likely better overall health. If it's higher, it may indicate, and then it goes on, factors that impact metabolic age: muscle mass, activity level, diet, health conditions. I think what ended up getting me a little bit was lack of sleep. But all of those factor into, that's basically like your overall life score. I'm 44. Amy, guess my metabolic age, knowing all of my lifestyle habits. Don't sleep well, but I do eat pretty well. I do exercise.
29.
Was the because she went too high or too low?
that's too low.
Okay.
That's not too low.
29.
I mean, the
He's
sleep.
in his 20s.
I have the image
Biologically.
here of it. I didn't make it
Like,
out. I took a picture of it. Just so we'll know.
Listen, you've never had a sip of alcohol.
Oh gosh, that's
correct.
true.
Okay, yes. Hear me out. I have my reasons for this. You're extremely active. The only thing that I think really, really gets you is the sleep. And so I even added some for that. If you slept great,
You mean 19?
25.
Eddie, you pushed her. So what is your guess?
I'm gonna go 37. Oh, you're obviously younger than your real age, but you're not 20, dude. You're not in your 20s. I'm gonna go 37.
There's no reason like I'm not fighting you about it. Like you're being, dude, don't be stupid, you idiot. You're not in your 20s.
She put you in your 20s. That's
Okay,
ridiculous.
fair
I
enough.
don't think it's crazy.
Lunchbox,
34.
Morgan.
32.
My metabolic age is.
Boy, he's
Can you
in
see it
his
from over there?
Yeah. Shut up.
Yep.
Shut up.
What is it?
8. No, I'm kidding.
Guys.
It's 29.
Wow.
Hello. 29.
So what does that mean? Like you're
That
gonna live
means-
forever?
No,
I'm a mind reader.
I could walk outside and get hit by a car tomorrow.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I could also develop a disease. I did. I mean,
Let's not say that.
I could.
But he could.
But,
We all
he's
could.
acting like you're going to live forever
No.
if it happens.
Yeah,
No, but
I know.
if you were to do odds like we did with who's leaving the show,
Yeah.
odds are based on a lot of the decisions regarding health that I would live longer than otherwise in a vacuum. We're not in a vacuum. But that's it. I have a 29.
29.
That's impressive.
Hey,
I was pretty happy with that.
I don't think I'm getting the respect from
Oh, you nailed it.
especially Eddie
Good
for
job,
nailing
Amy.
He
it.
pushed you.
You did. I said 29. You said, Psh,
I did.
and then I was spot on.
My
well,
doc,
that means I'm gonna be like freaking 80 if I do that physical.
if you did,
Dude, they would say like you're gonna die next week.
It's okay. You
They
don't
would
even need
they'd
to.
poke you to see. Hello, are you,
You don't even need to take the time to do the physical. I'll tell you. Hold
Yeah,
on.
80.
Let's
Amy? Yeah, diagnose Eddie.
Tell me.
Dude, your bones are getting so brittle. Is the sad part.
I know.
Like he's breaking it. He's breaking everything.
Oh, that's a sign of
Of what?
osteoporosis.
My total body fat percentage. What do you think it is? And I'd have to pull up what the parameters are because I don't have a guide of what
I don't remember this stuff.
he went over BMI too. He's like BMI is a load of crap.
It is.
He said people that have a lot of muscle, like he said, if a Titans linebacker came in, his BMI would be terrible because he'd have way more muscle and it's based on height. And he goes, that's just a line. Like there's a certain population that you can use it with, but really they don't even use it anymore because it's so off. And some with body fat percentage, but let me type this in. What is ideal body fat percentage for 44-year-old man?
Eddie, it's
170 pounds. Oh, I tell you about the height. So I go on and this is so stupid. They made me take my shoes off, which I didn't want to do because I always measure taller in shoes.
Did you take tall shoes?
No, but
Did
I had
you fight him on
shoes.
it?
A little.
like you
A
have nothing
little.
else
I was like,
on, and you're
well,
like,
I was like, what's the difference? I'm not gonna, get a scholarship or not get a scholarship based on.
yeah, but
let me
they're
just
trying
measure
to get
with my
accurate
shoes.
information because
I know why they're doing it, but I just want to ask. I just said, let me do it with my shoes, and they said, no shoes, and so I said, okay, so I take them off, and they asked me a question that I wish I would have answered differently.
honestly, how did you answer it?
I wish I would have answered differently because they said, is this smush in your head? And I should have said yes because it was smushing my head.
Oh.
That thing on top, it was kind of pushing down too hard on my head. And I should have said yes, and then they would have like loosened it a little bit and gone up. I just needed a half inch because on my page it said 72.5 inches. Oh, you should do the math on that.
Yeah, what is that?
It's 6 foot and a half.
Oh. 6'1.5".
Dang, and if you would have
No,
worn
72
your
is
shoes,
6 foot and a half. Has to be an even number because it's 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12.
No, I know you're right. I just kept thinking for some reason you'd like to say you were 6'2", but you like to
Oh,
say
no,
you're
no,
6'1".
No, he's
Yep,
6'1".
I'm 6'1".
We know that.
In shoes, for sure, I'm 6'1".
No, I
and
don't know.
And I think my driver's license says it. And I think it was smushed in my head. I just wish I would have said yes if it was smushed in my head.
You're like, ow!
Why is it important to you?
It's
to
not.
be-
It's funny.
well,
That's
okay.
a little important, though,
It
right?
seems important. It
to be
seems
6'1".
Because you're the only one there in the room. Like it's
No,
funny
no,
just
there were
you.
other people there. I just wanted it on my sheet printed because I was going to take it home. Because Caitlin's like, you're not 6'1". You're 6'1.5". I've seen it many times in yours. And I'm like, but
Okay,
there's
so
always
you
have
just
some
want it-
excuse that's a lie. But I'm like, in shoes, for sure, I'm 6'1". And so they put it on my sheet, and before I took it out of the room, I Sharpied it out. So it can never be used against me.
Yeah.
I just should have said, yeah, it's pushing on my head too much. And then I peed in a cup. And then I'll still wait for my results from all the blood stuff. I got in what's it, a slip? What do you call those things? Like
A rope, a gown,
yeah, a gown
a hospital gown.
that opened in the front.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought they opened in the back for the most part.
It depends on which way you slide it on. You can slide it in and then it ties in the back, or you can put it over your shoulders and put your arms through and it ties in the front. Whichever way. Which way did they tell you? Normally, before the nurse or whomever leaves the room, they tell you which way to put it on.
They did. They said it opens in the front. I just thought that
Okay,
was
so
weird.
they're telling you keep it to
Yeah.
where it opens in the front.
The ideal body fat percentage for a 44-year-old man depends on his overall fitness level and health goals. Here are general guidelines for men by body fat categories. So, essential fat means you just need this percentage to function, is 5%. You have to have that just to live. For athletes, it's 6 to 13%. For fitness, it's 14 to 17. Now, this is a 44-year-old man, 6 foot tall, 170 pounds, and also not everybody's the same even then, even if you use all those stats. But this is just generic. Average is 18 to 24. Obese is 25% or higher. Where do you feel like
You probably fall in fitness category.
14 to 17? My C-section probably holds me back a little bit.
The higher, but that's scar tissue.
I know, but it'd still probably show up as body fat.
Yeah, I mean,
I was 11%.
You're in the fitness. Whoa. What?
Whoa, elite athlete.
No, well, athlete. I didn't say elite.
Just athlete.
Yeah, it doesn't say elite. There's no elite, but I was at
Wow.
11%, which I was
Wow.
pretty proud of. I'm also at like mentally, I'm in a good place right now too. But they didn't do any calipers.
I mean, squeeze your fat.
I got on a machine and held stuff, and there was a machine around me,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just like, "Boom." So, but I won't get the big results till next week. The blood stuff, but pretty good.
Not bad. You're 29. You can start saying that now too.
And Eddie is.
80.
Well, let her do
80
it.
for sure.
Let her do it.
Well,
I don't think you're 80.
I was Googling more about osteoporosis because I know it's more common in older women. That's actually what I'm trying to fight right now is for older me. I'm trying to protect my bone. I'm doing all kinds of things for that. But it says here men can also develop the condition. And I think, Eddie, you might. I can start sharing with you some of the things I'm doing to prevent it.
I don't think it's fair that you already diagnosed me as having osteoporosis.
Well, we just asked her to do a blind diagnosis anyway.
But she's already diagnosed me as if someone like that's broken a bone twice in 2 years doing athletic stuff. It's not like I like
Well, you fell roller skating. It wasn't.
I was flying there, dude. I was flying. Do you remember that guy?
I know, but you- how
Brian,
much-
Ono, what was his name?
Yeah,
Apollo
Antonio.
I was going that fast.
That's cool.
How much do you think you drink these days?
I would say 2 days out of the week.
And how many days a week are you working out?
3.
2 days out of the week, how many drinks?
You don't work out any more than we work out.
Like go for a walk.
Anything.
Walks are good.
Yeah, I
Walks
go
are
for
good.
a walk, but I don't lift. No.
Well, you don't have to lift.
I go for a walk. There's like a hill behind my house.
Okay.
I'll walk up that hill like 2 or
That's
3
good.
times.
Oh, yeah, that counts.
That's great. You should add a weighted vest.
Oof.
That'll help with the
I think
osteoporosis.
looking like me, they're
He'll
gonna
break
call
like
the
a hip.
cops.
He'll break a hip.
No, I'm telling you, dude.
just
You think
add
they'll
like
call the
10
cops
pounds.
on a Mexican guy in a vest?
100%. I don't look Mexican.
A weighted vest.
So you're saying someone will think you're a suicide bomber?
Yes.
Walking
Yes.
up a hill.
100%.
Have you seen his driver's license picture though? His driver's license picture does.
Amy, have you seen it?
He does look mentally
Let me show you.
driver's
Let me
license.
show her. Let me show her.
Dude, that's funny. That's
No.
where your mind goes.
Let me show you.
But we're
Because
under
I've seen a white
we're
dude. I've seen a
under-
white dude with a beard, and I'm like, I gotta call the cops on this guy. If they saw me, they 100% I get the call.
Okay, then
cops
wear
call.
the weighted vest under a sweatshirt or something.
I'm hiding something then. Here, Amy, look.
Amy, will you walk over and look at his driver's license? because his picture, one of the funniest I've ever seen.
I'll tell you, at the airport, they take 5 looks at it.
Look at it on microphone and camera ready,
Yeah, not-
Amy. So don't
I'm
look.
not.
Here we go and go.
Okay, so hold on. 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
I don't even know why I did that.
He looks like he works on one of the Great Pyramids of Giza. I'll be honest with you.
100%.
I mean, you do look like Egyptian or Middle Eastern.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you,
For sure.
people
look different.
people think I'm
You
Middle
look-
Eastern.
You look cute, but you don't look.
Thank
You're
you.
right. I would be like, you're not Garcia.
I remember I was at the store once and somebody was like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm from Texas." And they're like, "No, no, no. Like, where are you from?"
Your
from?
people. Where are your people?
Yeah. I was like, "I'm from Texas. Like, born and raised."
Because he didn't think you were Mexican.
No,
And
they
then
thought I was
say,
Saudi.
Yeah.
And then they say from, and you're like, well, Mexico. And then they're like, and then where are where are your grandparents from?
It's crazy,
because
dude.
it doesn't like you. It says I won't say your full name, but your name on here is very, very Mexican.
Yeah, that's why at the airport they're like, "Uh huh."
Your picture on there is not very, very Mexican, though. You know, it's hilarious. We were at Auburn doing
Oh gosh.
Too Much Access. Coach Bruce Pearl had us down. We were working out with one of their main players. We were playing basketball, and somebody who was there, I think part of the program, I think is married, has a Middle Eastern partner, and went up to Eddie because they related.
They're like, "Oh my gosh, you look just like my husband." I'm like, "Oh, is he a Hispanic guy?" No, he's from like Turkey. Like, what?
She went up to Eddie to kind of relate to him, you know, being a Middle Eastern in America. She's like, my husband's same. Eddie's like, nah, I'm Mexican, man.
It's crazy. Dude. I'm telling you, I get that all the time.
It's funny.
I got Kurdish the other day.
Oh,
I
yeah?
don't even know what Kurdish is.
What do you mean?
Like, where's the country of Kurd?
Have you ever heard of Kurds, like the people?
I've heard of cheese curds.
There's not a country of Kurd.
So what is? Because that's what she told me. She said, "You look Kurdish."
They're basically mountainous people from the Middle East.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, ethnic group? No Kurdislovakia, though.
Okay.
I don't think. There is
they
a
would-
let me look. There is a Kurdistan, but it's like roughly defined.
Maybe that's it, Kurdistan.
It's not like Iowa.
Right. Man, I've gotten Saudi. I've gotten India, like from India. I've gotten.
Kurdistan is parts of Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Turkey. So, like I said, it's not like a defined area, but roughly that mountainous area.
That was the one where I'm like, ooh, I don't know where
That's,
that is.
that's always makes me laugh when someone thinks you're
It happens all the time.
something.
It starts with a smile first. They're like, oh, like you're one of us, and I'm like, huh? What does that mean?
Define us.
I'm just getting Cheetos and a Coke. What do you mean?
10 conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. I feel like we're just in the kind of the mood and mode for that right now. I love a conspiracy theory. I think some of them now, though, turn into disinformation, which makes it very difficult to know what's true and what's not. But I did find this article of 10 conspiracy theories that were at one point, no way could it be, but then turned out. And now we look back and we're like, yeah, makes sense because we're kind of taught it was true. But you see Trump, so Biden released like, I don't know the number, like 13,000 documents when he was in office about JFK. And then Trump signed last night. He said they're going to release everything. Now, we've heard this before. Who knows what everything means? Because when Biden released all those documents, thousands of pages of documents, some of it was still redacted. So by Trump signing that last night, does it mean we get more redacted files or do we get the files redacted? And do we learn who really killed JFK?
Dude, would you read that whole thing?
Nope. I would wait, or I would ask ChatGPT to,
Summarize it.
yeah, just give me a
That's
Cliff's
realistic.
Notes version of it. It's like the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively. I haven't read any of the documents there, but I'll watch attorneys who have read through I think it's 90 pages.
That's a lot.
The longer it goes, the worse she looks. By far.
I feel like it goes back and forth.
It did it was him, good guy, then her, good guy. But once he countersued them and it's like, look at these texts that she used in her lawsuit that I'm showing you the rest of the context.
Uh-huh.
To me, if you're like, hey, what really happened? They probably developed feelings for each other.
Yes, I was going to say, do you think
Yes.
that she loved him?
I think. Listen, again, I'm gonna do a
whole
lot of speculation.
thing on that.
I think that's kind of her MO is to fall in love with her actor. That's how her and Ryan Reynolds got together. They did a movie together. They did Green Lantern.
I don't know the story. Is she was married to Ryan Reynolds?
She is married.
She is married.
She is. So what's this?
Justin is in the movie It Ends With Us with her. He was the director and
Producer
co-star.
and co-star. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you don't know anything about this?
No, zero.
What? What is your... This hasn't been fed to you
Zero.
on TikTok at all?
No.
Yeah,
not in my
I would
algorithm.
live in this space. It's okay. It's not that interesting to me.
Oh.
I feel like though
it's really interesting.
I'm not on his side, but she doesn't seem like that good of a person.
Yeah, I have no idea whose side I'm on. I just know that I've gone like back and forth with like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. And then someone else will present something, whoa, that's crazy. I know when she was looking like the good guy, a lot of other things were coming out from other actresses and people in Hollywood talking about how they've been mistreated. And then it made you believe her more, you know?
Mm-hmm. She was with DiCaprio. She was with Penn Badgley, which was her co-star in Gossip Girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they were
Again,
together. They dated.
Yeah, briefly.
Eddie, I wouldn't even worry about getting. It's like trying to watch The Sopranos starting today. You know what?
But Sopranos is so good.
Entertaining, great, but don't waste your time.
She's still married though.
Yes.
Now he's starting to look like the real douche, Ryan Reynolds.
Also, the thing I most recently watched was that maybe Ryan found out about the feelings, and so that's why he went and confronted her.
Fan
and then,
theory or
Fan theory.
from docu? Okay, so
But-
the lawyers that I'll watch break down the stuff, they'll go, "This is what was said in her case. This is what is said in his." And hers would be like these texts that they put in the case, and then his is okay. Here's that text, but here's everything else around it. That is exactly why. Here's the video from the set where she says I did this, but let's watch that. Here's the actual video, including 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after. Like once they start going full receipt,
I guess this one I don't know if we call it fan theory because I don't know that she's a fan of either person, but she's now a mom, but she used to be a casting director in Hollywood, and she's like, "Trust me, I have casted for
when
so
people
many
say
movies."
trust me, ooh, I'm out.
Okay, but maybe I paraphrase that.
Okay.
Okay, because I felt like I could trust what she's saying now that she gave me her credentials. And she said that sometimes people have chemistry, sometimes they don't. And when they really do, like you can tell the ones that just have it and they have feelings for each other. And she's like, I watched that entire movie, and she said she texted one of her other casting buddies and was like, you cannot deny the on camera love. You cannot deny it. It is on and off, and I feel like they have something going on, and that is now my theory that they were in love and it caused this whole thing.
My pure speculation would be that too.
Yeah.
Would be there were feelings, and then that's where all this comes from.
That's crazy.
But Eddie, don't worry about it, dude. You got
Okay.
You got enough. It's not even that interesting. Had
Have
I not
you-
been invested, I wouldn't continue to be invested.
Have you watched It Ends With Us or read the book?
I have
No.
not done either.
No.
That should be homework.
I'll pass. I don't even want to know about the story. Like I'm sad I know that much.
Oh, okay. Well, I had read the book a long time ago, and then when it turned into a movie, I was really excited, and I wanted to go see it, so I did.
And how was the movie? Take everything else out of it. Everything that you knew pre, mid,
I liked it.
you did.
I liked it. Yeah, I felt like I was already influenced by some of the stuff though, because
You couldn't be
how
on the jury?
Blake was acting with the promo of the book, because it is about domestic violence.
Promo of the movie.
The promo of the movie was all like the main character and like flowers and living this life and girly and like this is so great. And then you're like, God, this is a really heavy story. And then that's what you learn in some of the legal stuff back and forth is like she was made to look bad for promoting it that way. But that was literally how Justin had said, you need to promote this movie. Colleen Hoover's the author. I like a lot of her books. I'm actually listening to one of her books right now on Audible called November 9th. It's pretty good, except for the main characters are 18, and it just really throws me off
that's
when they're
tough.
that young. And then there's
That's
like a love scene, and I'm like,
That's why I never watched that show on Netflix about the water.
which one?
I don't know. Charles Eston's in it.
Oh, yeah, Outer Banks.
Outer Banks.
I felt too old. Like scene
Yeah.
one, they're like in a boat, and it's like a bunch of 20. I am 29 though, so maybe
Oh,
I
that's
should
true.
feel. But I
Right.
felt like
Well, I can watch a good teeny bopper, and I don't mind this whole storyline. I think it's great. But when there's a love scene and they're 18, I don't like it. Kind of like on Landman, the daughter is 17, and it really is crazy to me how sexualized she is on the show. I feel awkward. I'm like, she's 17.
we haven't watched Landman, so I don't,
And she's not 17 in real life, but her character is. So that feels weird because my daughter's 17. And if she was acting this way, I would be losing my mind.
I mean, probably most 17-year-olds are acting that way, though, just not in front of
no.
their mom. No, I don't know because I haven't seen that show.
Yeah, well, once you watch it, you're probably going to be uncomfortable.
The girl, the daughter of the vice president in Night Agent, the show I'm watching now, she plays a college student, daughter of the vice president.
Yeah.
Everybody with me? She's in her 30s in her life.
Yeah, this girl that was 17, she's 27, I
How
think.
old is her character though?
21, 20.
Yeah.
That's got to be so like
I
such
get
a
it.
compliment.
I'm 29. I get it. Like I never really understood and related until
You
now,
totally
but I
get
do.
it.
Yeah, I do know,
know,
what it
right?
feels like. Yeah.
You should audition for
Dang.
stuff.
My glasses help me a bit visual age, meaning any of my wrinkles or lines around my eyes, they're blacked out by my glasses.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
And I've never really gone in the sun.
Yeah, that helps.
Did you ever do tanning beds? You did, right?
I had a brief membership in like 2001.
Yeah. So that's what's really, my dermatologist said that's really what's screwing me over.
Oh, we did mold check yesterday too, which is always tough for me. That I was in the gown for mold check, and so it's like, let's look at your back, and it's Kurdistan, basically that. The Kurds live there back there.
Oh, gosh.
mountains
Oh
everywhere?
yeah, it's just I've always had a ton of moles. I've had many cut off, and he's like, oh.
Did you biopsy any?
He's like, some of these we may have to send off. It wasn't this one looks bad, but he's like, they're just raised. And so.
And you think that would be tanning bed?
No.
No,
I have
his might just be.
family. Like
Got
my
it.
mom had a bunch of moles. Luckily, they're just on my back.
See, our family stuff, mine's family stuff too, but a lot of it's not visible. It's like stuff you don't, like the trained eye has to see. And then I'm like, okay, is this really here? But I don't know if y'all remember before my wedding. At my wedding, I mean, my mom had a lot of makeup on, so you couldn't really tell. Plus, the surgeon did a really good job. But like 6 weeks before my wedding, she had her entire face like cut open down the middle and had to like scrape out all the skin cancer and sewed back. And she had a huge scar. It ended up healing nicely, but I remember her debating like, oh, your wedding's coming up. Should I wait? And the doctor's like, we probably shouldn't wait. So she went ahead and did it. But now my skin, I'm in my 40s, and he's sharing with me some of the things that my mom had that I now have. And from my mom, it was stuff from her childhood and younger years. And all of my damage is from those, my tanning bed days, my laying out by the pool with baby oil days.
Yo, you didn't know how bad that was, though.
I know,
back
but
then.
now
Yeah.
I don't even do anything fun.
We
in the
did
sun.
the family history thing yesterday, and I don't know mine, but he's like, all right, let's go. I know my doctor now at this point pretty well. He's like, let's go through family history, and he's like, we don't really have many places we can go. He knows both my grandfather died of cancer, but I didn't know either one of them.
Do you know what kind of cancer?
No.
Oh.
My grandma, who adopted me and raised me, her husband died. He's my grandfather. I didn't know him, but my mom was only 8 when he died, so she didn't even really know him. But he did die of cancer, and then my biological dad's dad died of cancer.
So do you think that this is worth maybe reaching out to your biological dad to get information that could be helpful for you?
Nah.
Okay. I
'Cause
know that
I-
that's hard, but or
I
like,
feel
is there
like
a
it's
cousin?
healthy for me to be stubborn.
I get it. I know. It's probably like not at the top of your list of things to do, but I think knowing some knowledge in that way is power. But I mean, you are
Powerful
29.
enough. Have you seen my results? Yeah.
You're 29, so
Yeah, like 11% body fat. 10 conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. We'll go 10 to 1. The U.S. government fabricated, this was the theory, or exaggerated attack on American ships to justify escalating the Vietnam War. So the theory was the U.S. exaggerated the attack on their own ships. The truth was declassified NSA documents confirmed that one of the attacks never happened that we said happened. It was the Gulf of Tonkin incident. So there was an attack that we escalated because of the attack on us, but that attack never happened. They just said it happened so they could. That's the Gulf of Tonkin incident. Turned out to be true.
That's dirty, dog.
The theory, number 9, Bayer sold blood products contaminated with HIV to foreign markets.
no way.
The truth, according to History.com, this is a real life site because they do documentaries on the channel, so I believe it. In the 1980s, it was confirmed Bayer knowingly sold these products, leading to thousands of infections. That would be something I would want to read further into to just know, because I'm curious about that. And maybe it was they just were selling blood products and they didn't realize it was contaminated. Then when they realized some could be, they were like, well, we're not going back now. We're just going to sell it all. I don't know, but that turned out to be true. The next one is, the theory was Project Sunshine. The government harvested dead bodies for radioactive testing without consent. Didn't seem that bad.
No, they're
I know.
dead.
I'm like,
They're just
it
bodies.
doesn't bother me, but
But it was revealed in the 1950s that the U.S. and the U.K. conducted these studies often using stolen body parts from dead people. You know, probably not the most integrity-filled action, but you know what, they're dead. Not like you're selling HIV blood to alive people.
Right.
Man, Operation Paperclip. I read a lot about Operation Paperclip.
That doesn't sound too bad.
I've talked about it here. When I say what it is, you'll remember me talking about it. This one's wild. And it's obviously true, but the theory was the U.S. government secretly brought Nazi scientists to America after World War II.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Declassified documents confirm the program, which aimed to leverage German expertise for the Cold War. We took the smartest Nazis and said, we'll change your name. NASA, other areas of expertise that these scientists had that we didn't, gave them a new house, gave them a new name, said, yeah, you were Nazis and we should murder you, but you can bring. But we were like bidding like against other countries. Other countries wanted them too. So they did some heinous things. But because they were really smart and really good, we gave them a new life so they could build our space program, That's a tough one.
Is there a movie on that?
There's probably a few. The Pentagon Papers, the theory was the U.S. government misled the public about the Vietnam War's progress. The truth was the leaked Pentagon Papers in 1971 exposed systematic deception by multiple administrations, which is basically they would tell us we were doing better in the war than we were. That's a war we didn't win. So it would constantly be on television, on the news. Wow, look at us, we're really dominating. But it turns out it wasn't true at all. Number 5, NSA mass surveillance. The theory, the U.S. government was conducting widespread surveillance on its own citizens. The truth, the leaks in 2013 revealed the NSA's extensive surveillance programs confirming widespread concerns about privacy violations. I wish I knew more, because those were, I'm sure they found a bunch of stuff. But those words, when it's just generic words, widespread concerns, yeah, I got widespread concerns about a lot of stuff. Number 4, the spying on John Lennon. The theory, the FBI was tracking John Lennon due to his anti-war activism. The truth, declassified files confirm the FBI monitored Lennon in the 70s because they feared his influence on the anti-war movement. So they tracked him. Oh, this next one's crazy too. I've talked about this, the Manhattan Project. And you guys have probably seen movies about this.
There's a movie, I think, called that.
Mm-hmm,
right?
But
Or
there are
a
also
show?
other movies, like wildly successful movies about this. Do you remember what that is at all? The Manhattan Project? The U.S. government was secretly developing an atomic bomb during World War II. Mike, what's that?
I mean, that's what Oppenheimer was about.
Yeah, Oppenheimer.
Oh, yeah. I fell asleep in that movie.
Oh, yeah, you didn't like it.
No.
I didn't love it.
Oh, I liked it.
I liked it, but I thought I was going to love it because it was getting every award nomination. And I think I would have liked it more had I not been told I was going to love it.
Yeah.
But I liked it. The massive secret operation involved tens of thousands of people, led to the creation of the atomic bombs that dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You ever see the story about when they dropped those bombs, why they dropped them there? But basically because there were clouds and they couldn't drop them other places?
Oh, dang. No. Never heard that story.
Hopefully I'm not making that up. I'll do a little fact check on that and read it, and then we'll wrap this up. Number 2, MK Ultra, the mind control experiments. The theory was the CIA conducted secret experiments on mind control using drugs like LSD, hypnosis, and other techniques. Documents declassified in the 1970s confirmed the existence of MK Ultra, where people that had no idea they were being experimented on were. I think the Unabomber, because he's a Harvard guy, I think he was part of these type of experiments without knowing.
Krasinski?
Ted Krasinski, who might have just died in prison, or he's at that crazy prison in Colorado, that super, what do they call it?
Maximum.
Max, yeah. And then number 1 is Watergate, which we know is real. Oh, by the way, I said that, Watergate.
He died in 2023
Yeah, pretty recently.
at 81.
It's weird when someone goes away, they're kind of already dead.
Yeah, like I thought Charles Manson was dead a long time ago.
Is he not?
I think he's dead now.
Oh, got it. Bob Barker just died, right?
Just died.
I don't know how for sure I'd be on that bet. And then the theory was the Nixon administration orchestrated a break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters and then attempted to cover it up. The truth was investigative journalism and congressional investigators revealed the conspiracy leading to Nixon's resignation in 1974. So there you
Krasinski was like actually cute when he was younger.
go. Yeah, and
It's weird.
wildly smart.
Yeah.
But the experiments they did on him. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were chosen as targets for atomic bombs in part because of the weather conditions. Clouds over Kokura, Japan on August 19th, 1945 forced the U.S. to target Nagasaki instead.
Dang. They couldn't wait.
No, they couldn't wait. But imagine you live in Kokura, Japan, and it happened to be cloudy that day, so you didn't get an atomic bomb dropped on you.
Yeah, but then you live in that other city, and
You're not living.
You were never the target.
You don't get to imagine because you're done.
You're done.
I remember in Oppenheimer they talked about, I believe it was Kyoto, and one of the guys says, "No, my wife likes vacationing there. Let's not do it there."
Really?
Yeah, that's what they said in the movie.
Weather conditions played a major role in the decision to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The weather affected the timing of the bombings and the damage caused by the second bomb. Wild. All right. Good. Anything else?
I think we've done
Good, man.
a lot of things here. Covered a lot of very random topics.
But it does feel like it's crazy that like those do sound like crazy theories, and at the time probably be like, "Come on, stop. That's not true."
All of them, yeah.
Turned out to be true.
Like MK Ultra is wild to me. MK Ultra. The experiments they were doing on people that had no idea with hallucinogens. Like that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You're going in. No, it's just a filling.
Just give you acid.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's just a cavity, man. And all of a sudden you're freaking chasing bunnies and monster. Oh. Yeah. Wild, man, wild. There's a bonus one. COINTELPRO. The theory was the FBI infiltrated and sabotaged civil rights groups, anti-war movements, and other activist organizations. The truth was, documents obtained in 1971 confirmed that COINTELPRO targeted figures like Martin Luther King Jr. and groups like the Black Panthers, so they would infiltrate and sabotage them. Imagine you're John Lennon or MLK, and you know the government is like monitoring everything you do with such sensitivity. That's a weird life to live.
Stressful.
At one point, I'll be able to share it. At some point in my life, I'll be able to share it when I had cars outside my house with lights on. And I open the window and they drive off. That's a very scary 9 months of my life. I almost wrote it in my last book, and I thought, I don't even want to bite the foot of that goblin. But it was a really scary time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Trying to think right now.
Where I for sure was being monitored.
But
don't say it, because I've purposefully chosen not to talk about it. Because
I'm not going to say anything.
I don't. Well, sometimes once you run the whole Marvel the Avengers.
That is a fiction story about people I don't know. I'm not going to like out you in your life right here.
I don't know.
It's a little different.
It could be accident. It could be accidental, though. I don't think it's on purpose.
Yeah, but I think I'm just a little more free with fiction.
Eddie, will you take the camera off of me?
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm not on camera, right?
Not on camera.
Nothing I do in my
Nope.
is going to be seen.
We just see Amy.
My eyesight.
If you can't see it, you can't see it.
I can see it. I just needed longer to see it. It was longer than you think.
Also, I write like a child.
All I saw was Nate Bargatze.
Oh!
Nate Bargatze's been after me for years, and now you reveal it?
No,
That's what it is.
Will you walk that over to her and then just bring it back?
Thanks. I gotta go get my eyes.
I think Nate Bargatze's very funny. Some of you guys don't
I
love
agree.
Nate Bargatze, right?
I mean,
Oh,
it's
I
not that I don't think he's funny. Like, I do think he's funny. I just see him play
I need
these
that.
Oh yeah.
I need that back.
massive
Yes.
arenas.
Yeah, dude's
Okay.
killing. He made like $80 million last year.
Yeah, I saw that and I'm like, wow, I didn't think he was that funny.
I'm such a fan of somebody who can do it
Clean.
without having to be like, I'm the clean guy.
Yeah.
Right. And he still interacts with dirty comedians.
Yeah, 'cause he's not
if
like
we're
a-
calling them clean and dirty.
He's not like against it. He just does it. Like I admire that. I think
What's
it's
the
really good.
What's the appropriate road?
Blue. Comedians that work.
There
Blue.
you go. So he interacts with Blue.
You remember that now?
And so what is he? What's clean?
What do you mean?
color is clean?
I was asking if she remember what I wrote instead of her.
Clean.
Is it
White.
No bad words.
Clean.
What'd you say?
white.
White?
Well, if dirty's blue, white is clean.
Got it.
I don't know. I don't think there is a color, Eddie.
Okay.
Let me back up. I think it's just clean and then blue.
Okay.
You ever see the Key and Peele sketch where they're talking about black ice? And the
Yes.
ice is like, watch out for black ice. And one's a reporter and one's a weatherman. And they're like, just because it's black, don't mean it. They're like trying to go, like, hey, well, there was some white ice that got me too once.
But
It's so
they
funny.
set it up with like, it's really hard to see black.
They're like, at night, really be aware of the black ice.
I watched that last night, actually.
You did?
Yes.
It's so funny.
Key and Peele is
They're
on my
so
TikTok
funny.
algorithm.
Yeah.
I just saw the one where the guy's got trouble. The baseball player's got a problem slapping people's butts.
I haven't seen that one.
He went to therapy for it.
I've seen that one.
So they're like, guys, look, we gotta not slap butts around here because so and so just got a treatment for that.
I haven't seen. That's a funny one.
Really funny.
The one that I see every few months because people just post it randomly is someone's doing a political talk and he's like, and we're going to stand up for everybody, even the gays. And it keeps going to like Jordan Peele and he's like, the camera goes to his face sitting in the crowd. And he's watching the speech and he looks at the camera right when he says, hey, we're going to protect everybody's rights, even the gay people. And he realizes the camera's on him when he talks about gay people and he goes, like, get the camera off me. So he comes back to it, and the camera goes back to Jordan Peele. And then Jordan Peele's like hiding under the chair when the camera comes back the third time. It's super funny.
Gosh, they're so funny.
They're funny. That, like old Chappelle Show sketches ahead of their time, super funny. Mine heavily now is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Nonstop clips. That show's really funny. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys. Let's do it. You can listen to the Yellowstone podcast. I think we ended. Yeah, go if you don't. I'm gonna do 8 episodes of this. It's gonna be awesome. Go search for the Yellowstone feed. We had an issue on our feed yesterday, but I had on. She was the governor, then senator, and the love interest of John Dutton. Big role in the show. She was my guest, and we talked a lot about her career, what it was like working on Yellowstone. So go search that up on the Yellowstone. We have an episode of today. We have 25 Whistles, and we have on the former general manager of the Patriots who won 3 Super Bowls, Scott Pioli, which was super cool. Amy, your 4 things. What do you have going on? Do you know the 4 things?
Yeah, no, I did quotes that'll just help you rethink how you look at life and things that happen to you with like little nuggets, personal stories from me. And then I even have, I recommend other episodes that you can listen to from a couple of other podcasts that I love that kind of tie into the same theme. So it's kind of a quick episode, but impactful, at least for me. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this is a good therapeutic episode for me.
I need to do quickly the draft results of the best candy bar because I don't want to let that go away.
Ooh.
We drafted the best candy bar. Who had the first overall pick?
I did.
Amy did?
Yeah, because I went with Reese's and it was controversial.
You did not win.
But I didn't lose. There's no way I lost with Reese's.
The loser had 6%. Is a very low. So I can read you everybody's and you tell me who you think had 6%. Okay. Amy had Reese's Cups, Reese's Take 5, and Heath Bar.
I mean, maybe I lost.
Oh.
I mean, maybe I did. I don't know.
Morgan had Kit Kats, Whatchamacallits, and 3 Musketeers.
It's pretty solid.
Lunchbox had Snickers, Milky Way Hershey's Milk Chocolate Bar.
It's not bad.
I had Butterfinger, Heyday, and M&M's.
It's good.
Raymundo had Twix, Rolos, and Feastables.
Okay, Ray lost.
Ray lost
I
bad.
think Ray lost.
Ray loses every time.
Yeah.
Ray had 6%. Amy
Maybe because
had,
no one knew Feastables.
it's a weird thing. You have to
Yeah.
know Mr. Beast to know Mr. Feast.
And he had Rolos.
Right.
I know you.
As
I know
the number
that
2
Bobby
because I had
loves
M&M's,
Rolos,
and I
but-
only took M&M's because Amy took Reese's Cups. I felt like we could break the rules a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the Feastables got him. Raymundo Feastables at 6%. I was in 4th at 16%. Morgan at 17%.
Whoa.
Amy finished 2nd, and then Lunchbox finished 1st at 36%. Snickers was the big one, which I couldn't believe
Boom.
Ray didn't take.
I already had caramel, 2 of them. I didn't want a third one.
We weren't forcing you to eat them.
Yeah.
That'd have been the move. Okay, you picked all 3. You shall eat all of them now. Raymundo's out next draft. Eddie's back in, which is usually the case. They just revolving
We just
door.
go back and
Who
forth.
sucks so bad. So there's that. And then one other thing. We get a lot of questions about where to find things. And Morgan, when this happens, is it show stuff or is it Nashville stuff? Like, what are the questions mostly?
Oh, it's just where to find like different types of content, like the drafts. It's on everything is always on our website, bobbybones.com. Everything is up there, content, videos, YouTube page, blogs, the drafts, like links to shows Bobby's doing. Everything will always be up there. And then if it's not there, that you somehow can't find it there, you can find it on our social media pages, which is all Bobby Bones Show.
Okay, at Bobby Bones Show all the way around.
Yes.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you don't mind. And that is it. Okay, you guys have a great weekend. We'll be back Monday. Check out today's show podcast, hopefully. Kane Brown was on, and we will see you guys later. All right, bye, everybody.